Here are some logical if-then arguments. Welcome to Critical Thinking Scan, where we look at how you can think about any faith-challenging message and arrive at a biblical, logical conclusion yourself. I'm Patricia Engler, and today let's look at how to recognize 3 common types of logically valid arguments so that you can recognize fallacies related to them. And all 3 of these argument types begin with an if-then statement, like, if God created humans in His image, then every human life has value. If-then statements like this are also known as conditional premises. The if part of a conditional premise is called the antecedent, and the then part is called the consequent. In the example I just gave, the antecedent is God created humans in His image, and the consequent is every human life has value. Now, sometimes it's easier to see the structure of conditional arguments if we symbolize their statements with individual letters instead of full sentences. And people often do this by symbolizing the antecedent as the letter P and the consequent as the letter Q. So the basic structure of a conditional premise is if P, then Q. With these basics in mind, let's look at some of the most common structures for valid if-then arguments. The first is called affirming the antecedent, or modus ponens if you want to be Latin about it. You make this type of argument whenever you prove a consequent is true by showing its antecedent is true, using the structure if P, then Q. P, therefore Q. For example, if God created humans in His image, then every human life has value. God did create humans in His image, therefore every human life has value. That's a logically valid argument based on the pattern affirming the antecedent. Remember though, even a valid argument might not be worth believing if it has unreliable premises. For instance, another modus ponens argument might be, if dinosaurs evolved into birds, then birds are dinosaurs. Dinosaurs did evolve into birds, therefore birds are dinosaurs. This argument is logically valid because the conclusion necessarily follows from the premises. But it's only a sound argument if all the premises are true, including the statement that birds evolved into dinosaurs. And like you can find from the linked resources, that idea does have some serious issues. So remember, to think critically about an argument's content as well as its structure. With this disclaimer in mind, let's move on to another common structure for valid conditional arguments, which is the opposite of affirming the antecedent. It's called denying the consequent, or modus tollens. And you make this type of argument whenever you prove an antecedent is false by showing its consequent is false using the structure if P, then Q, not P, therefore not Q. For example, say the antecedent P is life arose through natural processes, and the consequent Q is the information in genes appeared by chance. We could use modus tollens to arrive, if life evolved through natural processes, then the information in genes must have appeared by chance. The information in genes could not have appeared by chance. Therefore, life could not have arisen through natural processes. And as you can learn from other resources, including the articles linked to this video, this argument is not only logically valid, but also intellectually sound. Okay, the last type of valid conditional argument we'll look at is called a hypothetical syllogism, which is just a fancy name for multiple if-then statements stuck together. For this type of argument, we'll throw in an extra statement symbolized with the letter R to form the structure if P, then Q, if Q, then R, P, therefore R. To build on the example from the beginning of this video, we could use a hypothetical syllogism to argue. If God created all humans in His image, then every human life has value. If every human life has value, then unborn humans also have value. God created all humans in His image, therefore unborn humans have value. Again, this argument is both logically valid and intellectually sound. By understanding these 3 forms of logical conditional arguments, affirming the antecedent, denying the consequent, and hypothetical syllogisms, you'll be able to recognize if-then fallacies when you see them. But more on that in upcoming videos. Meanwhile, for more on how to think critically about any faith-challenging message, you can access my other CT Scan episodes packed with tactics, tips, and tools that helped me as a Christian student at secular university. Thank you for watching. Hey, it's Patricia here. Just wanting to let you know that if you like these videos, a free, easy way to help Answers in Genesis Canada create more content and equip more people to defend their faith is to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, click the bell, and of course, share these resources. That lets the social media algorithms help these videos reach more people who can benefit from them, saving us advertising expenses while promoting biblical authority. Thank you so much.